Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hi, friends. It is me, and I'm here to talk to you about what people don't tell you about life abroad. Welcome. My name is Rashida Dow. I am a move abroad and career break coach. I have been living in Mexico City since 2019. I love my life abroad, and so I love talking about my life abroad because I want other Black women and their families to know that if this is something they are interested in doing, they can do it. And so I'm here as a possibility model for you to see what's available to you. So, hi. If you're here in the comments, drop a hello so I know you're here. If you're watching this on the replay from the future, let me know. I am in Querétaro, Mexico right now, which is about a 3 hour ride from Mexico City. So I'm here. I'm chilling. I have been here for a few days. Rick and Halisi from Our Black Utopia are in town to celebrate Rick's birthday, and we did that last night, and it was a beautiful time. Um, if you know Rick, you know. Excellent. And he sang for us last night. We were all singing, but then Rick was like, "Let me show y'all how it's done." Beautiful. So super excited to be here with you guys today to talk to you about the things people don't tell you about life abroad. I have a list. But before I get there, the list really boils down. I love a good summary, so I'm gonna give you the summary up front. The list boils down to if you have a thought while exploring a place that no one talks about this thing, no one talks about this thing, you probably didn't do your research. I know. One of you is going to be like, that's not true. I did my research and I never found. For 95% of the times that you might say, no one ever talks about this thing, it's because you didn't do your research. You didn't do it well. So today we're going to talk about that and how we can help you. And starting from the top, we're going through things. First, I'm going to talk about a man. And I told this man I was going to talk about him. I'm here to talk about Derek. Hi, friend. Good morning. Derek H., who I met this weekend with his beautiful wife, Gwen. Hi, friends. Hi. I hope you're watching. Oh, there we go. Gwen and Derek Travels. Hi. Okay, so Derek, I met Derek on Thursday, and he was like, I'm in the comments. I'm watching videos all the time. I think he might watch me and Stephanie and Delia and Halisi and the team, the squad, the larger squad, more than his wife does. Possibly, I don't know. But he was like, I never say anything in the comments because I don't want you to get mad at me. And I'm like, no, okay, men, hi, if you're watching this, men, come on over, bring your common sense, and say hi in the comments, please. You're not allowed to be here. You can be here. You can speak. Just don't say no dumb shit that I can see, right? So the reason that and part of how this relates to what they don't tell you about life abroad is one of the conversations I have frequently is that people think this is something only women can do, right? Because they don't see men being present, being vocal in the community. Part of that is most of what I do is for women. I center Black women in most of what I do. And the ones who are here watching in the comments aren't saying hi. So say hi. Let people know you're here. CK says Derek is so cool. Come on, Derek. CK, how you know Derek? What am I missing? Yes, good. Derek says he does much more with his wife. Yes, he ready to go. So all that to say, if you think men don't do this, it's not true. You may not be watching the right places. Men might be quiet. One of the reasons I don't generally see it for men in the comments is because a lot of times the ones that do show up and they are vocal are just trolling, right? men come and troll. Probably 90% of the trolls I get are men, and maybe 10% are women. And so men just generally get more of the brunt of my shut your dumb ass up and get out of here, right? Because like if there's a troll, it's generally a man. All that to say, men, hi, 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 say hi, show up. You're here. We appreciate you. And I talked to and Lamar about this last night about how like just being outside of the US creates you get to be another possibility model, right? You get to show other men that it's possible that you can do this. I can't I can tell men that it's possible, right? But seeing other men do it really makes it feel more possible. So, shout out to Rick, shout out to Lamar, shout out to Derek, shout out to all the men around the world who are doing this. And as Black men are showing up as models for other Black men to show them that they and their families can do it too. You can do that much better than I can. But men who are here, who watch this, who are watching this on the replay, who are not just here to troll, come in, say hi, kick off your shoes. When we say hi, we're including you. You could speak. I promise. Just don't try to troll me. Okay. Now that we've gotten the men out of the way. Hi, friends. I want to talk about a couple more things. Oh yeah, Kim says her husband needs to travel and move abroad friends. Where y'all at? Yes. The men need community. Oh yeah, Reggie says hi. Reggie's a fave as well. One of our official, unofficial Exodus Summit members. Yes, y'all are out here. You guys need to be in community with each other. I can't do that for you. But y'all will get there. All right, back to my list. I always have a list and I can never find it. I have been physically going through it this week. Ooh, my eyes dilated right now and it's by this light. And so I'm like, I can see, but also not really. It's all kind of a blur. All right. I'm gonna need my calculator for this one. A couple of comments that have come up recently in videos that I have been live in or like interacting in or things I want to talk about where people don't tell you about life abroad. First, let me do this math real quick. Yesterday in Stephanie's video, a woman was asking about what. No, that's not what I want to talk about first. I'm gonna skip that one. A couple weeks ago at Exodus Summit, I'm gonna come back to that other one. A couple weeks ago, Mike, Gwen, and Derek, when I was live on the Exodus Summit live stream, a woman said, you guys only say good things about these places and you never give us the truth. And that's not fair. Y'all just doing this just to make money. Y'all are only saying the nice things about places and not the other things because you just want to make money. You don't have to lie to us to make money. And she said, I went to Mexico City and somewhere else, maybe San Miguel, and I didn't like it, so I left. So we're lying. I thought it was so interesting because the very last pre-recorded video on my channel is about why you should not move to Mexico City, which, as you can guess, wasn't a completely positive video about Mexico City. So the idea that we only say good things probably means you're not doing your research. Stephanie lives in Bogota and says the things she doesn't like about Bogota all the time, right? She's actively trying to recruit people because she wants more Black friends, which maybe means there aren't a lot of Black Americans there, right? Maybe. If you listen and learn, perhaps you'll see that. Also, part of that is that what's negative for you isn't going to be a negative for me, right? Just because I like something doesn't mean you're going to like the same thing. We get to like different things. So what I wanted to do with you guys, okay. Junquette says, People like to complain and find fault as a reason not to take action. Yes, I was like, girl, we're lying to you about these cities because you went to one and didn't like it? I've lived there for 6 years. You think I would live there for 6 years if I didn't like it? I've been lying to y'all for 6 years to make money? Okay, I was like, okay. That's a long game. Truly, if I've been lying to y'all about Mexico City, my how I feel about the city for 6 years in order to make money, respect my long con. Respect for 6 years, I've been lying to you about a place. Y'all should pay me for that. I am putting in the work. But anyway, Michelle says people watch 3 YouTube videos on TikTok and that's the end of the research. Yes. Yes. Um, a couple things, I keep my ear to the ground in Mexico City because it's where I live. A couple things I've heard and experienced recently is someone saying, no one ever talks. I didn't know there were earthquakes. I didn't know earthquakes happen in the city. No one has ever said that earthquakes happen here. Your research stopped at the food? Like, we are known. If you search Mexico City and get beyond like 4 New York Times, here's how to go to the same 6 places in a weekend articles, you're going to see something about earthquakes. We are known for not only having earthquakes, but having really bad results historically from earthquakes. So no one ever talks about the earthquakes. Is like, what do I even say to that? I have videos where I talk about the earthquakes. I might care less about the earthquakes than other people because I grew up in Southern California. So they may not be a big, like, I need to talk about this every time I talk about the city. But people are talking about the earthquakes. It's one of the things. It's like the thing we're known for: great food and earthquakes. Another thing was I heard recently is no one talks about rainy season. Baby, the weather app is right there. The weather app is right there. And I want us all, as we do our research for where we're planning on moving in the world, I want us all to know that every place has little weather and big weather. Every place in the world has little weather and big weather, right? What's the climate day to day? And what's that big stuff that might hit you in the chest real quick, right? What's the day to day climate? How's it like? What's going on? And then what is going to kick you in the face and keep you down for a little while? Every place. Do your research. Hit them Googles. Do it. All right. I think I need to clean my mirror, my lens real quick, my camera real quick. Hold, please. Boop, 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 boop. That didn't really help, but okay. Do your research. The weather, little weather. What is the climate year round? And what is the big stuff, right? If you're on any of the coast of Mexico, you're probably going to get hit by a hurricane. If you're inland, it's probably going to be an earthquake, right? Thailand, who knows? Depends on where you are in the country. If you're in Chiang Mai, you're going to hit burning season and not going to be able to breathe without a mask for like 3 months. Every place on this planet has a thing, right? What is the thing? Got to figure it out. If it's not a thing that works for you, go somewhere else, please. Okay, Lady Secret says y'all need to like. She didn't say that. She said, please embrace the subscribe and like buttons. I heard y'all need to like. So go ahead and give us a like. Florida Lee Living says, exactly. If you research for details to meet your needs and wants, you can find information about natural disasters, climate, weather, political climate, etc. Feed yourself the information. Yes. Yes. I can't make a video that spoon feeds you all the relevant information to you. All the information that's relevant to you in one video, I can't do that because there are millions of you out there. There are millions of you out there, and I don't know which ones of you are going to stumble across this one video. And so I can't make a personalized video for you that talks about your needs and concerns. So you need to do your research, right? Whatever things you care about. Someone was deathly afraid of earthquakes and said no one has ever mentioned earthquakes in Mexico City. If you're deathly afraid of something, she said she wasn't deathly afraid of earthquakes. She was afraid of being buried alive, which potato, potato, big baby. In a place where these buildings are old and not generally built to withstand earthquakes, but are in a major earthquake zone, you know, that's the same thing. You got to work on that. I can't make a video for you. I don't know you like that. You can work with me. You can come talk to me one on. If you want one-on-one support, I can talk to you one-on-one. But I can't make one video that covers every possible thing you care about. It's too long. I have snacks to eat. Thank you. Okay. What I want from you guys, so we can help out some strangers who are watching these videos, what I want from you guys is I want you to tell me, since we're talking about things that like different people like different things, whatever, what's a place you went to, like you thought about living, or you lived in for a while, or you live in now? Tell me a thing you hate about the place. All of you, 152 of you watching right now, let me know what you hate about a place you have visited with the idea that you might live there, or you live now, or you lived in the past. Tell me. Chiang Mai, I was there for 3 months. Burning season was really, really hard. Loved the city, but literally not being able to breathe because the air was so bad. And I don't have any lung issues. I don't have any respiratory issues. And I was like, if I had asthma, no. So tell me with things that you're like, I love this place except for, or I didn't even love the place. I hated it because of. Let me know. I'm in the comments. I'm waiting. Nothing? Oh, Lady Soldier is getting around while disabled. Lady Soldier, where did you have a hard time with that? A lot of places outside the US, I'm sure. But what is a place that you specifically had a problem with that? Siobhan says she's in Querétaro and she hates the hard water. Yes. I haven't put a water, I'm 5 years into my apartment and have not put a water filter in yet because I don't know why. Nichelle said pollution in general is terrible in Thailand. You can see the pollution from the airplane. Angela, oh, wait. Philippines, caterpillar season and typhoon. What? Baby, wait a minute. Travel near or far. Let's back up a second. What is caterpillar season? What does that look like? What they doing for caterpillar season? I need more information about that. There's a little bit more information about caterpillar season. What y'all got going on? Angela does not like the food in Accra, Ghana. What else we got? TJ scouted Puerto Vallarta is too hot and too many tourists. She liked the energy and vibe outside of tourist zones. Dr. O says Toronto, but it was so cold in March. Now, Dr. O is from Detroit. And we just had a conversation about the weather. Was it Vancouver the other day? Weather somewhere, and I think it was Vancouver. Yeah, she was like, it felt like 60 degrees. No, friend, it was 2 degrees. But because you're from Detroit, it felt like 60. But now she's talking about Toronto was too cold in March, and she's from Detroit. I should tell you something. Lady Soldier had a hard time getting around in Germany. If you have a hard time in Germany, you'll have a hard time in a lot of places. Because, like, America does not do a lot well, and I don't expect the ADA to last long, but it really did change our, what do we call this? The architectural support that people with disabilities have in the US is special around the world. I'm not saying it's the only place that does it well. I'm saying they do it well than a lot of other places. Like I said, I don't expect that to last any part of the ADA to last another year. But historically, the buildings we have now. Yeah. CK says Tulum, but sudden torrential rain was overwhelming. Tenero says Florida, the weather. Is hot or is wet? I don't get it. AJ's Whisperer saying expats paying exorbitant prices for homes in SMA. You know how I feel about that, I think, because yes, a lot of times we overpay, but a lot of times it's because we're being overcharged. All right. Lived in Germany and loved it except for German food. However, the Italian and Middle Eastern food there was delicious. I saw an article the other day in a group I'm in, and it was like the best food in the world is in Germany. And I was like, but you can't be talking about German food. Ain't no way you're talking about German food in Germany, right? So like maybe they have good food, but it's from other places. Ain't no way that pig knuckle is the best thing you ever ate in your life. I don't believe it. But yes, other foods in Germany, I'll let that slide. The constant sound of car horns in Lima, Peru. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like San Miguel de Allende, except for seeing the majority of non-natives everywhere I looked, restaurants, etc. Yes. Okay, so I can't remember where travel near and far. Oh, Philippines. Caterpillar Caesar is there everywhere you step during the rainy season. I can't step on bugs from that trauma. Caterpillar season and the rainy season. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. James Dinko said I underestimated the rainy season in CDMX. Now this is the worst rainy season we've had, or at least June was the rainiest month we had in like 10 or 20 years. But every summer, starting in May, ending in like September, October, we don't get that rain. And then we're gonna get potholes and sinkholes, and a soda truck is gonna fall into a hole in the middle of the street. Mm-hmm. Not before 10 says the restaurants in Spain are vegetable challenged. And why are they opening up at like 9 p.m.? I want to be in bed by 9 p.m. I want to have eaten dinner. I'd like to eat dinner at 5. What do you mean nothing's open? What do you... I was in Spain like... So again, I have to go to the grocery store because I've walked around for 30 minutes looking for an open restaurant and there's nothing open. I mean, I get it, culture, whatever, I respect it, but I want to eat. I want to eat. What are we doing? Kicking up Kim says the infrastructure in Northwest Costa Rica isn't the best. Had some electrical and Wi-Fi issues back in 2022. Yeah. Yeah. All right. And Adelia says all of his record season has been record breaking. Yeah, I didn't pay attention past June because, when you live in it, you hear it all the time. It's just rain. San Jose, Costa Rica is the ugliest city in Latin America. She's not wrong. It's not. I wouldn't go as far as the ugliest, but it's lacking in a lot. It's lacking in a lot. Okay. So, yes, what you can hate things about a place, right? You not hearing someone say that thing that you hate about a place, someone not mentioning it doesn't mean they're trying to get over on you or they're lying to you. It may mean you need more sources, right? It may mean you need to go to the actual content, more of the actual content of his sources going out. How dare you tell me that I never say anything bad about Mexico City when I have my last pre-recorded video is about why you should not move here? Why would you do that? Because respectfully, you seem like you just want to point the fingers to somebody. It feels like you just have something you want to get off your chest. And that's fine, but I don't respect it. Right? I don't respect it. Anywho, we're gonna move on to another topic that I think is important. I only have a few today. Y'all, I'm trying to make it through this weekend. All right. So yesterday on Stephanie's video, a woman, she was talking about ways to make money, right? Or no, she was talking about a larger topic, but within that larger topic, she was talking about ways to make money. So she's talking to people about like how to get their move abroad plan together in 13 weeks. And part of that move abroad plan was making money to support yourself abroad. And a woman was like, no one ever talks about how people who are making less than $40,000 a year can do this. And I had strong feelings, but I was trying to survive on a treadmill, so I couldn't really type my strong feelings. Because I grabbed my calculator. Where's my calculator go? I grabbed my calculator. And 40,000 a year is $3,333 a month. Yes, I needed my calculator to do that. Judge somebody else. Okay. I want to know from you guys if you live abroad. Hi, Blake. Hi, friend. That was you. We don't talk about this because I think it's an important point. If you are living abroad now and you live abroad or you have lived abroad in the recent past, like the last recent 3 years, if you've lived abroad on less than $3,333 a month, I want you in the comments right now, please telling me, because we need to show this to Blake, right? I live in Mexico City. It is, as far as Mexico goes, it's an expensive city. It's one of the top 2 expensive cities. I could live in Mexico City for $2,000 a month. I don't. I don't do that. But I could easily live in Mexico City for less than $2,000 a month, right? Which is $24,000 a year. I could live in Mexico City for less than $3,000 a month, which is $36,000 a year. Like the 40,000, a lot of times we can overcomplicate our thoughts in a way that prevents us from making action going forward, right? CK says, I just saw a video of 20 countries for $2,000 a monthly expense, right? JM says, love Mexico City. I live there for under $2,000 a month. And she said she's been unemployed for a year and living, I'm guessing, on savings and less than that. There are a lot of cities you can live in around the world for less than 40. There's a lot of ways to move abroad when if you have a whole bunch of debt and that you're trying to cover ahead of time, or like you have other expenses that we haven't talked about, that may be more challenging, but that doesn't mean it's not possible, right? Okay, so yes, Blake says it's the getting there what I'm concerned about, how to get us out of the US. I'm ready. It's the getting out, right? Isn't not that it's not hard. The getting out doesn't have to be more expensive than plane tickets, and depending on how you get paid, right? Depending on how you get paid money, how frequently you get paid, it doesn't have to be more expensive than plane tickets or and like maybe a month of rent, maybe a couple weeks in Airbnb. Asia, who was in my video about women who moved abroad without a lot of money, without a lot of money. Asia moved abroad, I want to say with her son, with $2,000 or $2,500, and that's all she had. And that money wasn't savings. It was money that she was supposed to pay for the next month's rent and decided to use that money to move instead of using that money to pay rent. She went to Puerto Vallarta, right? It's not impossible. Like Asia said, you may not want to do the things she did to make it there, like take the chance of just moving and saying, I'll figure it out, right? Or knowing, like Asia knew that with her skill set, she would always be able to make money. Um, and she was doing work on Fiverr at the time, that freelance work, which is something we're going to talk about at the summit. She was doing freelance work at the time on Fiverr, and she knew that she would do a project, she would get paid. She would do a project, she'd get paid. She'd do a project, she'd get paid, and she would figure it out. Right? CK says get out via coach flights and have house sits scheduled. There are ways, right? There are ways to do it. And money is, this is not about you, Blake, but money can be an easy thing to point at and say, I can't do it because of the money. But there are women right now who are doing it with less than you have, right? With no savings, making maybe 25 a year, right? There are women who are doing it with less. And that's not, like I said, not a judgment. It's just, if you don't change your mind to believe that it's possible, right? You have to believe it's possible before it can happen for you. Kay says $1,200 a month, right? That's $14,400 a year. Rent is probably on that budget. Rent is probably like $500. Okay, so Stephanie's now living on less than $3,000 a month in her 4-bedroom Bogota. She says apartment. It's a house. It's a whole. It's an apartment, but like multi floors, right? You could include vacations. $3K a month total cost of living, even with $2,000 rent. She talked about this yesterday. She's in an expensive place, so she could be paying $1,000 rent or less. Less. The way to think about it is that in a lot of countries around the world, the income is significantly, like, we don't do a lot, right, in the US, but our income is significantly higher than a lot of countries around the world. It's not higher in comparison to the cost of living, right? They charge us, they tax us compared to the income we're making, right? But they don't, but the income is larger in a lot of places around the world. So if you can transport your US income or a portion of your US income to anywhere else in the world, you're probably going to be doing a lot better than you think, right? And if you don't need to say, if you don't feel like you need a cushion, if you're confident in your money making ability, like Asia was, and you can say, I'm making money today, I'm gonna make money tomorrow, right? I have these clients lined up, they're gonna pay me, and I'm going to live below my means. Women do this all the time. They do this with their families. Okay, like, I'm glad you don't feel judged. 'Cause that's not my intent. I just wanted to really touch on the number you said and let you know that it is possible and that you don't, like, a lot of women are like, okay, when I get $30,000 saved. And it's like, for what? What is the $30,000 expense you think you're gonna have when you leave the country? Right? Like, bad things could happen. Stephanie talked about this yesterday. You have Get some health insurance, get some traveler's insurance. Um, and then the bad things will be less bad if they happen, right? Loranda says, I've been worried that I wouldn't be able to live on 40K outside of the US. I'm living on that now here in the US in one of the most expensive places in my state. I live simply, so I should be okay. Yes. Yes. So she talked about this yesterday. It's one of the things I say all the time. There's a very good chance that if your rent right now, wherever you're living, whatever you're paying, you can go to a significant number of other cities and countries, and your total living expense could be your current rent without changing your standard of living. There are a lot of countries where you can do that, right? If your rent right now is $1,500, you can go somewhere and live your entire month on $1,500 without changing your standard of living. It's much easier to live on less outside of the US. Not everywhere, but in a lot of places outside of the US, because outside of the US, Not that they're not capitalists, but the focus isn't on draining every single dollar from every living person all the time. I remember being in Thailand. I think it was still Chiang Mai, and we went to the movies, and it was like it was a blockbuster movie. It was all the black people went. Was it Black Panther 2? No, that would have been too soon. I think. I don't know. It was some big movie. All the black people got together to go watch it. It may have been Black Panther 2. I don't remember. What are facts? Who knows? Um, and the day it came out, we went to watch it, and I think our nice theater, gorgeous setup, the lean back chair, feet out on the recliner, cushy big chair. I think our ticket was $3 a person. Where in the US, that's $15 minimum. Now, that was 5 years ago. So now it's probably $20. This exact same movie, right? And my thought in that moment, I realized they charge us no more because they know we'll pay more. In the US, they charge us more because they know we'll pay more, right? My economics mind tells me is that an elastic product? I don't know. So one of y'all out there knows this stuff better than I do. Econ was like one semester 20 years ago or more. Um, but they like literally, it's the exact same thing, and I'm being charged so much, like 1/5 or less for it outside of the US for no other reason than they know this is what the market will bear in Thailand and this is what the market will bear in the US. Your dollars are going to go a lot further outside of the US, right? You can go see 6 movies in a day if they're charging you 1/5, 1/6 the price. Take everybody's kids to the movies. Yes. Coach Donna Marie says my rent alone is a full luxurious life many places outside of the US. Yes. Hmm. And then Adelia says, movies for senior citizens are free in the Philippines. And Big Adelia, Big Adelia says my CNBC trip was all about how I live on $38,000 a year in Mexico. It can be done. I should be outside vacationing and eating desserts and drinking hot chocolate. Classy Agra says, I'm in Mexico for 2 people, 2 popcorns, 1 drink, $11 at the movie theaters. That's movie tickets, popcorn, 2 popcorns, 1 drink, $11. You're not getting that in the US because they're taking advantage of you. Nah, I saw the first Black Panther in Oakland. Yes, where else would I see the Grand Lake Theater? Where else would I see that? Yes. Lady Sarita says I do I take coupons overseas? I save a lot by couponing. There's a very good chance you won't feel the need to coupon overseas because you can get to the movies for 2 people for $11 with popcorn and a drink, right? Because the food at the local markets is going to be great and significantly less expensive. San Miguel's an expensive place in Mexico. And AJ Alinka says, I afforded San Miguel through house sits. In between sits, I stayed in an affordable Airbnb, $22 a day in Central, close to everything. $22 a day, right? Which $600 a month, $660 a month on an average month. And that's for an Airbnb. So you can imagine rent could be half of that, 3/4 of that. Right? Your life can look a lot better outside of the US. I'm not saying it's going to, because I can't plan your life. Just like I said, I can't make a video for you. I can't plan your life. But your life can look a lot better. All right. Let's see what we're talking about in the comments. Yes. Make racists uncomfortable again says $11 is just for parking in the US at the theaters. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. CK said, okay, this is gonna make y'all sick. I know she's got to be in New York. My rent is $4,500 monthly, and that's 3 months rent in Lisbon. Imagine only paying your rent 4 times a year, right? That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. Esther says, I follow a Black woman on Insta who is living in Thailand, and she lives a comfortable lifestyle on $1,000 a month. Hear me when I say her life is good. Biggest expense is probably flights back home. Mm-hmm. And there's no like, I want to be very clear. There are a lot of places you might move abroad and hate it, which goes back to my first point of having to do your research, right? You have to do your research, because if you're afraid of being buried alive, don't move to Mexico. Don't move to Mexico City. If you're afraid of hurricanes and tornadoes, well, hurricanes, don't move to coastal countries, right? Don't move into the. Watch your disaster movies and see wherever disasters happen. If that's how you want to do your research. They got a whole movie on Prime right now. Forgive me, it's not my Prime. I'm using somebody else's. Y'all know I don't truck with Amazon like that. But since I still have access, I'm gonna watch it. Anyway, there's a whole movie on Prime right now about people, communities saving each other after the big Mexico City earthquake. I think there's one on the exact same day in 85 and 2017, and I think it's about the 2017 one, based on what they're wearing, but I haven't watched it. They're making movies about it. You don't even have to do your Googles. Flippity flip through the channels. You'll know, right? Godzilla's not in Texas. He's in Japan. See what's happening out there in the world. Watch your disaster movies and where are the bad things happening, right? Where are the bad things happening? Okay. While we talk about moving abroad on a certain amount of money, I remember yesterday Blake was saying that she is an executive assistant, maybe. So one of our sessions at the summit is about becoming a virtual assistant so that you can work from anywhere for anyone. And I know virtual assistants who do packages. So they may charge a minimum of like $500 a month to their clients for a set number of hours, right? Maybe 10 hours a month at $500 for a package. So if you had 4 clients a month at $500, that's $2,000. And total of work you're actually committed to at that price is 40 hours of work a month, right? Maybe you do more because you get paid more when you do more. But if you could do 40 hours of work a month and pay for your full monthly expenses on 40 hours a month, how would you spend the rest of your month? How would you feel in your body the rest of the month? Right? How would you feel in your body the rest of the month if you could only work 40 hours a month? I think you'd feel good. I think you'd feel good, right? I think it would feel really good to work 10 hours a week and spend the rest of your time hanging out. I know this as someone who generally works less than 10 hours a week, unless it's summit season. I know it feels really good to work less than 10 hours a week. and to still be able to pay all your bills on that amount, right? And so for this year's summit, you can grab the link with the QR code. If that's where I hate QR codes on screens because I'm already looking at this device. But if it's up on your TV, this QR code should take you to the summit. If not, I'm gonna drop a little lazy link real quick. Stephanie always has the best links, and I'm like, here you go. Eat your food. All right, so I can spell. Okay, so drop a link in case you want to clickety click it there in the thingy in the chat, and it's in the description. We did intentionally. We know it's a hard time. We know a lot of Black women are leaving their jobs. And this year for the summit, one of the things we wanted to really pay attention to was creating sessions that you didn't need to bring a really full skill set to, right? Sessions you could just show up without a lot of experience and figure out how to make money in that experience, or like with your experience. You can come in at zero and start making money. It was really, really important to us because we didn't want, like, we have things for, what, do we have a schedule? Do I know a schedule? What's going on? I don't know anything. I do this all the time. I made the schedule. I don't know the schedule. That's not the point. So we have sessions about like full-time pay for part-time work with Kira Exford. If you don't have a job or don't feel like you have a skill set for that job, this may not feel like something that applies to you. I'm going to bet that this could apply for everyone. It may not feel like it today, but it may feel like it in 3 months when you're watching the replay, right? Jacqueline Twilley's talking about don't leave your money on the table, negotiate better pay now. If you don't have a job now, right? Maybe that negotiation right now does not feel right. But if you're looking at remote jobs later, you're going to want to catch a replay of this. In our teaching abroad panel, we intentionally selected someone who was not a teacher before she moved abroad, right? She got her TEFL certificate, and that was what it took. It wasn't like she's teaching abroad because she has 20 years of teaching experience. We wanted to select people who are not coming with zero, because no Black woman shows up with zero. I don't believe it. We are not allowed to show up in the world of zero. It's just not a thing. But what can you show up with, right? Or if you don't feel like you have a lot or you're working with a lot, what can you do? So that's why we're really excited about some of the talks. Like I said, the virtual assistant one, how becoming a freelance writer. A lot of you are really good writers and you're just not doing the work to get the jobs. Alana's going to help you with that. After going back and forth a bit, we added the OnlyFans session. And the OnlyFans session is we did something very similar in 2022. And the women we met through 2022, women within a month were paying for vacations with their feed pics money and their phone sex money. This is going to be a more holistic session. It's not going to be OnlyFans. It's going to be about different ways to make money online through sex work, because this is sex work. Feed pics is sex work. Phone sex is sex work. This is sex work. Like Stephanie said yesterday, she's pro ho. I'm pro ho. I'm pro get your money however you can. In a way, if it's not hurting you, if it's not hurting anybody else, get your money. Right? And so we're going to talk about that. And we're talking about that with a woman who's 55 this year, right? This is not a session only for women who were like in their 20s and don't care and you know what. No, she a grown up with a full life. And we're going to talk about it, right? Like, how do you do it in a way that's safe and respectful and you feel good about and is encouraging? And she is outside of OnlyFans, like a body confidence coach, because that's what she really focused on. And that's how she ended up in this space. And she's making the money, right? What do you need to show up? What skill set do you need to show up with today to make money on OnlyFans tomorrow? I don't know, but she's going to tell us, right? You don't need a degree. And that's one of the reasons we're doing it, right? Even if you don't have a big background in it, we want you to know that it's possible. Okay. I talked earlier about negotiations with Jacqueline Twilly, and I forgot to say this. I was scrolling through the comments on a YouTube video on the Exodus Summit site, and I saw someone say, I'm in Querétaro right now. And I was like, Danielle not in Querétaro, because Danielle wouldn't come to Central Mexico and not tell me. I saw Danielle last night because Danielle is in Querétaro. And she said, oh, I'm always like, she came to town on Friday and is leaving, I think, today because she wanted to be here for Rick's birthday. And I said, oh, you got your little money up and now you don't stay home. But let me tell you what the joke between us about you got your little money up means. She went to the last Exodus Summit and she attended a session on negotiation, the 2022 Move Abroad Money in 2022. And within 3 months, she doubled her salary from the negotiation session. Danielle doubled her salary. Danielle doubled her salary within 3 months of the 2022 Move Abroad Money Summit. And now she's just in Mexico for the weekend. Go back to work, no big deal. And came down real casual, like didn't say nothing, was just here. She's like, wherever I want to go, I just go. What would your life be like if you doubled your salary? If Jacqueline Twilly's session at the summit doubled your salary, what would life be like? Now her negotiation was for a new job. She got a new job and that's what doubled her salary. But she made it happen, right? Through the negotiation tactics that she learned at the session. She's just everywhere now. Got your little money up. And now not only are you in Central Mexico without telling me, but here you, girl, what? Oh, yay. All 3 of Kim's daughters are working on their TEFL as another income option. Yes. Mm-hmm. I'm super excited about Mo's session. Kelsey Ecker said she's excited. I'm super excited. I think that you guys will understand why we selected Mo for this talk when you meet her. She's the one. She's the one. Michelle brings up a good point. I think that people worry about living under 40K don't have cushions like savings, Social Security, 401K, or pension. It feels like flying by the seat of your pants with no net. Yes. Absolutely agree with that. But if you're making $40,000 a year and you can continue to make $40,000 a year when you move abroad, which is possible, right? It's possible. We're going to talk about different ways to do that. And you move to a place that costs $20,000 a year. How quickly before you have a cushion like savings? Compared to how long that would take in the US, right? You may not leave with a cushion, but how quickly can you build up a cushion? If you don't have a cushion in the US, right? And that 40K is leaving your pockets real fast because it costs $80 to take a family of 3 to the movies. How quickly, if your living expenses are only $20,000, could you build a cushion that made you feel more comfortable if you're making $40,000 a year and you're not, you know what I mean? Like if your income doesn't change. Yes. Not having cushions like savings, Social Security, 401K, or pension may feel really risky, but it doesn't get less risky if you until you have a cushion. And if you cannot create the cushion in the US, you're always going to be bound to the US or Canada or the UK or wherever you are. You're always going to be bound there if you cannot create the cushion there. And if you need the cushion. Yeah, girl, I'm talking about you, Danielle. Mm-hmm. Libra says cost of living sites are trash. They over/underestimate costs. Your standard of living is specific to you and may change. Do more research and don't believe people on social media. I wouldn't say don't believe people on social media because you have to get your information from somewhere. I would say get multiple sources. Like I don't talk about my cost of living in Mexico anymore because of a couple things. I'll give you guys some examples. My rent, I signed my lease 5 years ago, and I've had some modest cost of like increases over time with inflation. But if I was going to sign the lease for the same apartment right now, I'd probably be paying at least $500 more a month. So what I pay for rent isn't relevant to anybody else because you're not going to get my apartment for my price, right? I don't feel I was not put on this planet to care about the cost of food. There are many things I care about the cost of. All the time, Stephanie's like, you nickel and diming our business to death. Because I'm like, where's this dollar going? What happened? What's that expense over there? If we fight, probably it's over that. It's been a long time, but like that's something I care about. But food, I don't. there's no budget for food, and so my budget does not apply to a lot of other people. Like it's not relevant. So there's things I can talk about, like what does transportation cost? The metro costs 5 pesos, which is about 25 cents, 27 cents maybe per ride. That is a cold hard fact, right? A cold hard fact like that could be helpful to you, right? My food budget, high, high. My rent budget, low, low. I don't talk about them anymore. They're not relevant. So I would say, yes, use people's information on social media, but don't rely on it. So don't rely on like one person solely, right? Because if I told you what my rent was and you came looking for my apartment at my price, you'd be mad real quick because you're not gonna find it. You're not gonna find it. Same thing for boop, 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 perimenopause brain. Um, Living expenses. Oh, the cost of living calculator. I tell people to usually, like, if you can, on the Earth of Weights, you can change the multiplier of your cost of living calculator to get a higher cost of living or a lower cost of living. I like it when people move it all the way up to the top so they know what generally the top might be. Like, they use, I haven't used it in a while, but they use the word opulent on the cost of living calculator on the World of Weights. And what's opulent to you may not be opulent to someone else. But if you switch it up to opulent, you will see that this is probably the top of your budget, right? The middle of the road stuff, I don't want the middle of the road stuff. Because if I want it, like, I want to know what the top is going to be. I don't really want to know what the middle is going to be. What's the top? So I know how much I could possibly spend instead of relying on like an average number that I might not be able to hit as a new person coming into a city. No, I was not here to care about the cost of things that were given to me naturally. Food grow. Now, I'm not very religious, so don't get mad at me about this. But that Christian God y'all be going on about, pause, walk with me. Y'all say he made all that food? And I gotta pay $25 for a salad? There's no budget. There's no because I gotta eat. I gotta eat. There's no budget. All that food. And y'all okay. All right. Mm-mm. It is big tourist energy. The food just costs what the food costs. I'm going to eat the good food. So, mm-mm. It's one of the reasons that I don't enjoy being back in the US is I be like, 3 tacos is $25? 3 tacos should be $2.50. What are we doing? What are we doing here? What are we do mm-mm. I'm tired. I'm tired. All right. Okay, so let me run through a couple other sessions I think are gonna be really helpful for people who are coming in with not knowing what they wanna do. Oh, this tax preparer business. Now, when we were doing um, our speaker search and the tax preparer sessions hit the inbox, I was like, I am so mad at me for not thinking about this brilliant idea. I am Stephanie and I were working so hard in Exodus Summit and we didn't think about tax preparation. And I was like, we ain't no dummies, but we can't know everything. We can't think of everything. We're going to miss some things. But that tax preparation, seasonal work, maybe we going to hear from our speaker, Sharonda, but maybe making 40 in a season, just a little spring season. Maybe making 40 in a season and not having to work the rest of the year. There is money in the banana stand. We gonna get the money in the banana stand, right? How tax prep? You don't need a degree. You don't need a background in tax prep. I'm sure Sharonda's using programs that do the clickety clicking for her, so she's not clickety clicking by herself. Free Block Lady, hey friend, says, listen, I'm trying to make a year's worth of money in half the time. I know it's available to me. It is. It is. It's available to you. It is. So how do we get to it? How do we get to it, right? If you don't, there are some things where like your background is going to matter, and there's some things where it's like you can come in without a lot of experience. Get more. I missed you last night, Chelsea. I missed you at lunch. I saw you in the photo, and I was like, okay, well, I'll get to see her tonight. And then I didn't see you last night, and I just realized that. I'm so sorry. Shoot me an email. I'll leave in a couple hours, but hopefully we can see each other. Um, okay, trading and investing. You don't need a background in anything to learn how to trade, right? One of our community traders, Sandra, who lives in Thailand, she was a teacher, right? And now she makes money through trading. Being a teacher didn't make her more qualified than you to figure out how to trade. It didn't. She makes money through trading now as a retired teacher. Terry Ijeoma is going to come and talk to us about trading, right? Will you need, oh, wait, before I forget, Kimberly says, as a retired enrolled agent slash tax preparer, a seasonal gig can be a viable option for many. Kimberly said it, not me. Don't you want that? Don't you want that? I want that for you. Yes. Okay. So Chelsea, we're doing a meetup. October 4th is International Meetup Day for Exodus Summit. I'll give you more details later. Let me starve it so I don't forget it. But I will see you in Mexico City. Will most of the sessions apply to those of us from Europe? I live in Ireland. That's a great question. Like the tax preparation session wouldn't, because it's going to be US taxes, but the virtual assistant would. I don't know about trading outside I can't talk about trading. But the OnlyFans would. Let's see what else would. The Arlen Hamilton session about memberships, the business of community building and memberships, yes. Dasha Kennedy's session on rebuilding your relationship with money. Let me share my screen, since Stephanie said we can do that yesterday. Share screen. Ugh. We'll talk about ones that'll apply to you if you're not in the US. Okay. Creating premium online courses applies. It applies. Wait, let me double check and see if this is working. Yeah, that's working. All right. I'm going to take your comment off real quick so we can see the whole screen. Full-time pay for part-time work. It's going to be basically about how to create freelancing slash consulting opportunities for yourself. So yes, I think that will apply. Leveling up your LinkedIn for your job search. Y'all using LinkedIn over in, you said Ireland, right? Yeah, I believe I saw LinkedIn offices over in Dublin. So y'all using LinkedIn over there. Negotiating, applicable. YouTube as your 24/7 sales team. Y'all use YouTube in the Europes. I know you do. Teaching abroad. I don't know. I don't know where if the demand for European teachers is as high as the demand for American teachers, but I don't see that it wouldn't be. I don't know. Launching your remote virtual assistant career? Yes. Anyone can be a VA. This tax talk is going to be, it's not going to be specific to Americans, because a lot of it is, some of it will be, but some of it will be about taxes in other countries that you're going to, some of the popular countries, I believe, because she talked about that on my channel before. Simple certifications to get remote work. Because our job markets are much more fluid than they used to be, I believe this is one that will apply. Like some of the sort of like Scrum Master certifications, etc., are probably relevant in Ireland as well. Becoming a freelance writer, you can do that from anywhere. So yes, this is going to apply. Relocation math. Look at that cutie right there. Knowing your move abroad numbers, yes. Right? This is not a how to make money, but this is a how much money do you actually need, so we can get people like Blake out of here. Out of here. This OnlyFans ones with Mo, it's going to apply. Like I said, tax preparation, I don't know. You might be able to do Americans' taxes, but I don't know if it would apply to doing taxes in Ireland. Put your money to work. Adelia's going to talk to you about making money through dividends. Because investing can be specific country to country, I don't know, but this one would apply if you're not in the US. But like I said, Dasha Kennedy's Cost of Confidence, Rebuilding Your Relationship with Money. We wanted this session so that those of you who didn't feel like you had a strong financial foundation, like the people Nichelle mentioned earlier who don't have savings or 401k or feel like they're kind of flying by the seat of their pants, we wanted that one so that Dasha could talk to you about firming up your financial foundation and having a stronger one. This Arlen Hamilton one is going to be money for a lot of us, because a lot of us are in communities where we give, and there's no reciprocity, right? Building your own community leads to that reciprocity. trading and investing we talked about. And then this Rachel Rogers keynote is going to have y'all so fired up. I already know. Y'all going to be fired up with it. I'm expecting nothing but good things. And I'm not just saying that. All right. What I missed in the comments? Yes. Okay. Okay, so Adelia says, yes, there are teacher abroad ops for Europeans. Mm-hmm. We're learning how to live stream together as a community. Parasani says, this will be our first Exodus Summit. I'm so excited for your sessions. Parasani, you've been around for like 17 years. You mean this is your first one? You wanted this side-eye today? Because, baby, you've been around. I know that. The website for the summit is exodussummit.com, and it's the QR code if you have another device on you right now. Okay. What else do we need to talk about real quick? Okay. Coach Donna said she got certified for free through TurboTax. It's free on their website. I think the value in Sharonda's talk at the summit is going to be about giving you not the how to do it, but the things you wouldn't otherwise know about, the things TurboTax isn't going to tell you on their website when they get you to sign up, right? JM, there will be giveaways of tickets, but hello, welcome to Rashida's rules and regulations moment. There are rules and regulations. The first one, in order to get a ticket, you're going to have to be a part of our Exodus, our new community, not the Facebook group, but the new community, because that's where we're doing everything. And let me drop a link, the invite link for that, which is not in my description. I'll add that. I know how to do this. Yes. Okay. So join our new community. And in about, what day is it today? The 28th? So if I add 7 days, that's the 35th. In about 7 days, ish, week before the summit starts, we're going to give you directions on what you need to do to apply for one of these donated tickets. These are not free tickets. These are tickets that someone in the community has paid for by donating either when they purchased a ticket or donating in some other way. So here's the thing. If you email us before I give you specific instructions in our new community about how to get a ticket, your email is going to go into the ether and be lost. Because I need you to follow very specific rules. Our inbox around the summit gets a little crazy. So we need to have more hands on deck when this happens, right? Sending in an email early is not going to get you a ticket. It's going to get you not a ticket. I mean it. I love y'all. I mean it so much. Okay, so join the community if you're not already in there. We'll let you know how to do it. I think that between 10 to 20% of the people who apply for a ticket get a ticket, because the demand for donated tickets is much higher than the number of tickets donated. But I will tell you right now, our community has been very, very generous. We have, let me tell you real quick. Donations. You can donate a ticket from the Exodus Summit site. But we have 4, 5, 6, 9, we have right now 26 tickets to give away. I have said 10 to 20% of people may get a ticket. We're going to have more than 200 applications. So if there's this ticket, the donated tickets, every year women donate tickets for women who would not otherwise be able to buy a ticket. Right? So If you're applying for a donated ticket, you have to be someone who there's absolutely no other way to be able to attend the summit. We will give you more information in the group in about a week. But if there's any way you can buy a ticket, I would not wait any longer. I would buy the ticket myself. If you can't, we get it. Send in the email. But a good chunk of people who send in their information to get the ticket are not going to get a ticket. Okay. Red Lotus Flower says there are a lot of TEFL courses. Which one is the best? Baby girl, I don't know. But we have someone coming to talk to you at the summit about TEFL courses, about their TEFL experience. I don't know. I've never done a TEFL course. And that's okay. So honestly, like that's the reason Stephanie and I did a summit. There are things that we can't, like we would love to teach you. We can't teach you. I can't teach you about tax preparation. Dr. Donna probably can because she knows stuff about it. Sharonda can because she does it annually, right? I can't teach you nothing about that. We bring in women and we pay. The reason we charge for tickets is because we pay everybody. This is a cycle of money within not just the Black community, but within Black women, right? We're told all the time that we should be doing things for free. Stephanie and I want to break that, snap it. We want you to invest in a ticket and we want to pay the women who are coming to teach, right? We believe our as of today, our lowest price ticket is $109. We believe that if just one of these sessions helps you, you'll be making that $109 times a lot in a month, right? If you could 20x that $109 in a month, would it be worth it to you? If you could 20x that $109 in 2 months, would it be worth it to you? I think it would, right? If you can make your money back from that ticket and you've gotten community from a summit, you've gotten some guidance from a summit, and you've had a good time for 3 days, what are you out, right? You've invested in yourself. And so often we're not invited to invest in ourselves and invest in our futures, right? This is an opportunity for you to invest in yourself, invest in your future, get your ticket, and make some money. Now, this session, like every year, we do different themes, and this theme isn't something that everybody needs. But for a lot of people, whether it's true for them or not, they think money is in the way of them moving, and so we want to take that reason away, right? Let's cross it off. You write down all the reasons you can't move abroad. We don't cross money off. Crossing it off because you're going to see a way to make more money at this session, right? We love paying Black women. We love. Mm-mm. Okay, Sarah is being silly in my comments. Now I have to come out of retirement and attend the Proho session to get my $14 back from what the NFL just took for one taco and water. Yes. 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 Find some men with some bad judgment. Jokingly, but like, yes, all men. To give you your taco money back. Right? There's no way we live in this patriarchal society where our only value is how we appear in this world. Men would like us to believe our only value is how we appear in this world and what we can do for them. And we shouldn't be making money off of how we appear in this world. Oh, yes. Dr. Bell says it's also possible to purchase a ticket and transfer it to someone else if you want to sponsor a friend. If you've already purchased your ticket, I don't know how to do this, but there's a way on the website. If y'all are real curious, we'll have someone make a video for it. Stephanie, can you make a reminder for Elle to make a video about how to donate a ticket or donate to the ticket fund if you have already purchased your ticket? Because there's a way, I just haven't looked at it yet. Thank you, Stephanie. You're the best. Um, so yeah, how do you donate tickets? You can donate any amount when you buy your ticket, or you can do it after the fact. That's the part I don't really know. It can be done. I just don't know the details. Or you can buy a whole ticket for someone else and transfer it to someone else. If you have a problem with a transfer, you can just email us. I helped someone with that this morning. But yes, you can donate in increments of $1 when you buy your own ticket. All right. Travel Gal says, I watch YouTube on my TV. Is X is going to be on YouTube? I've purchased my early bird ticket. It's not on YouTube. And I'll tell you why it's not on YouTube. It's not on YouTube because people, when it's on YouTube, the one year we had to have it on YouTube because we crashed our system because y'all were chatting in the chat box. And we love that. We love that. No, it's a good thing. After the fact, in the moment, I was like, oh my God, what's happening? The system is like Summit started, and 2 minutes later, the whole system was down. And it was us that crashed it. Anywho, that was 2 years ago. So we used YouTube for it. And some of y'all were just out here sharing links in your group chat. Like, this is not a paid professional thing. Just sending the YouTube links to everybody, whether everybody had a ticket or not. And when we say we don't think Black women should work for free, part of that is we don't believe you should be taking the intellectual property of Black women and sharing it wherever you want to, unpaid. Because that creates a situation where that woman works for free without even volunteering to work for free. You're just taking her labor. People take from Black people all the time. They take our Black brilliance and then pay other people to pretend it's theirs. Remember them TikToky dances in the beginning? in that first part of the pandemic, where the Black women were out there making up all this choreo, and then they were bringing these little stiff white girls on Jimmy Kimmel or all the shows. That's what I'm talking about. So no, and that is beyond the question you were asking, and I know that, but that's the background of why it won't be on YouTube. There will be a couple sessions that you can watch on YouTube. We'll give you more information about that then, like our kickoff, not the keynote. We not. The keynote will not be on YouTube, but there will be a couple sessions you can watch on YouTube, but the rest of them you'll be able to watch on any of your devices, so you should be able to cast it. You may be able to, depending on your skill level. Sometimes I can cast to my TV, sometimes I can't, but a lot of people cast to their TV from the Summit platform we use, which is called Hey Summit. All right. Thank you very much, Patty, for another ticket. You did a ticket yesterday, Patty. Look at you being generous out the box. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That will go towards a ticket. You already know you didn't have to do the full 109, but that's going to go towards a ticket and a bit for a new person. Thank you, Patty. All right. What else we got in the comments? Dun, dun, dun. Find you some men with some questionable judgment and have them pay to look at your kneecaps, girl. Your Achilles. Tell them a photo of your Achilles will cost them $30, $300. Please and thank you. I saw a woman with no context. I did no research about her, but she was saying that she sends men things for money. I'm not sending anything with my DNA to any man. When my hair falls out in public, I don't even drop it on the ground. I'm like, let me put it in my pocket. Because me, Jamaican, Obia, I don't, no. You get no parts of me out there in the world. Any hoodle. She was saying The thing she gets the highest paid for, and I could not find this. It was a young Black girl. I couldn't find it again if I wanted to. She was saying the thing she gets the most money for is taking out her braided hair and sending her old braids to like one man in particular. That's what I mean. Find you a man with some bad judgment. I think she was getting thousands for her old braided hair. Now, if you've taken braids out, her hair is also mixed in with the extensions, and she was sending that. And for all I know, he making a voodoo doll out of her real hair. I don't know. Find you a man with some questionable judgment. Tell him your elbow costs $100 a pop, and get you that taco money, right? That you spent at the NFL game. Get you $109, right? The ticket right now is $109. Back of your kneecap. Right one costs 109, left one costs 109. I don't know how to make it happen, but make it happen. Mm-mm. Let me tell you, Halisi was outside looking so fine last night. Halisi was looking so fine last night. She had her man serenading her on his birthday. Halisi was outside looking fine, hot, just hot last night. Halisi, tell her husband I said hi. Listen, I'm gonna pause for a second because last night, Lamar had me in my feelings. Like deep. And what is the feeling? I don't want that. But I'm gonna pause from talking about men with questionable judgment to talk about men of good judgment last night. Lamar sat me down next to him and he said, I need you to come back and talk to me. So I was like, oh, I'm about to get a lecture from Lamar about something. I said, what's the lecture about? And he was like, it's not even like that. I just want to talk to you. Lamar told me last night, I don't think this is a secret. He's saying it in public, so I think this is fine. Lamar said, and this is why we like legitimately I was crying a little bit, a tear or two. Don't go too far. Lamar said he's living the best part of his life right now. Like his entire life. This is the best part. And he credits me and Stephanie and Adelia for getting him here. And I'm supposed to tell you that, Stephanie. He told Adelia last night. I was supposed to tell you, Stephanie. He said repeatedly that this is the best his life has been. Living in Querétaro with his wife. His kids are off to college. And not just the empty nester, but like not being in the US, being in a place where he finds peace, being in a place where he has community. There's some, if you know Lamar, you know, RC cars, I don't get it all, but RC cars, that's his thing. And he is on some like Mexico team for a manufacturer because he shows up in community. He has a hobby. He does his hobby with the other Mexican men who have the same hobby in the community, and they have embraced him. And he's part of the community. And he's going over to his neighbor's Mexican to play dominoes, right? Angela is now the pastor at her church down here. It's not like they've moved abroad and they've had to put part of themselves on a shelf to wait for later. They've moved abroad and they're living their absolute, like Lamar. I was like, this man is he out to get me? Lamar, what are you doing? He was like, this is the best my life has been ever. Like this life he's living today is the best it's ever been. And I show up on Sunday mornings because I know this is possible for you as well. Right? I'm here. We're talking about Exodus Summit. We're talking about a whole bunch of things. We're talking about what people need to tell you about your life abroad. That's something that hearing Lamar say that last night is a reminder that like It's accessible. It can happen to you. It can happen for you. And this is not us saying these things to sell you a thing, like homegirl said the other day. We're not lying to you about life being good here in order to sell you a ticket to the summit. Because Lamar has never had a ticket to the summit. I mean, Angela has, right? Um, but that's not what we're doing. Lamar, as a man, told me last night that he is in the best phase of his life, and he credits us for this. And I like all in my feels because I don't even do this for men. I don't even do this for men. And so for a man to come and say that, right? And be like, I got the ancillary support. I got the ancillary coaching. I got the ancillary through my wife information and it changed my life. It's what I do. It's why we do this, right? It's why we do this. Yes. Blessings on Lamar and Angela for continued joy. A whole pastor at her church. Lamar walks up to the RC track, and apparently all the Mexican men are like, Lamar! Well, he's not there. We're like, where you been? Why are you not here doing your hobby with us? You can live a better life than you're living today. And that doesn't automatically mean your better life is overseas. There's a 90% chance that somewhere overseas is a better life waiting for you. I would even say 95% chance a better life is waiting for you overseas somewhere, right? It may not be Querétaro, it may not be Mexico City, it may not be a place I've ever mentioned. Maybe it's in Tunisia. Maybe I don't know, I've never been there, right? It's somewhere for you and it's accessible, and us talking about it, right? And talking to people who live that life and talking about how you can make it happen for yourself is the only reason I get to talk to men who make good decisions. Some that is listening to their wife. They make good decisions and they say, this is the best my life has ever been. Do you like imagine someone saying that to you? This is the best my life has ever been, and I credit you for that. I was like, in public, Lamar? In, in public? Why would you? It can happen for you, right? It can happen for you. It can happen to you. This is when we say we want you at the summit, it's because we know the women who come and are active and get in community and get in accountability groups, they get out, right? And then I run into them someplace in the world and they say things like, this wouldn't have happened otherwise. It wouldn't have happened otherwise, right? And if we can help you make it happen, if I can help another Black woman get free, I didn't talk about it online, but um, Asada's death hit me in the chest this week, right? Her passing. Um, but I was looking around the room last night and I was like, she would be so proud, right? This room is full of Black Americans who left, right? Who are finding their joy in other places, who escaped, left, divested from the American ideals, and are building their joy elsewhere, right? And a lot of us didn't have to go through what she went through, right? She went through a lot and risked a lot, and we didn't have to do that. But I don't think that would make her any less proud of what's happening, of what we're doing, of how we're showing up. Right? We talk about staying to fight, but I think a lot of our ancestors would be proud of us for leaving, especially with the way things look now. They'd be really proud of us for leaving. And your descendants will be too, right? I am 46. I do not have children. I will probably never have children. But there are children in my life who I can influence and who will be proud that I made these choices. And that's really important to me. It's really, really important to me for me to set that example. Where all of us, Rapper MD and I talked about this last night, like whether you're fully showing up visibly in the world as someone who no longer lives in the US or not full time in the US, or whether you are quietly moving through the world as someone who's in and out of the US or out of the US completely. Someone knows your journey, right? Whether that's your neighbor, your cousin, your best friend, you are a possibility model for at least one person, right? There's Lamar, a possibility model for so many men. Same with Rick. Same with Derek, right? As he tries to make his move, as they talk about it. You get to be a possibility model. If people can't see it, they don't know it can happen. And we are out here trying to make sure people can see it. Right? We want you to know that it's there for you. Sharice always coming through. Toni Morrison told us the function of freedom is to free someone else. Very much. Very much. Like this life we live and this life you can live, because I'm not special in this sense, right? Like me moving abroad wasn't because I figured out some cheat code that nobody else has access to. Me moving abroad is because I wanted to, and I tried to make it happen, and I am stubborn. I'm that other Taurus trait. I'm stubborn. If I want something to happen, I'm going to push and push and push until it happens, right? And it's the push and push and push that has me showing up here trying to get you to move abroad too. I saw someone say in the comments about where did that go? By the way, thank you, Sparkles. We won't get to you. About how we feel about leaving people behind, I think. Oh, okay. Libra says, how do those who left the US handle their feelings about those they left behind? Survivor's guilt, I told you so, sadness, or other. I think it's going to depend on who you are. For me, I show up every week. I show up here. I show up in our Exodus ACP membership. I show up in the Exodus Summit community. I show up in the actual Exodus Summit event so that there are less people left behind. So I don't feel any kind of guilt. I can't feel sadness about it either. I do my best. It's not an I told you so. I do my best work to help free other Black women, and I put it all on the table. I put all my energy on the table, and then I leave it there. Right? If you're not ready for Exodus Summit in October 2023, 2025, I can say things. On October 10th, 2025, maybe you'll be ready and you'll get your replay ticket in November or January, right? Maybe you'll be ready later and you'll get your ticket then. Or maybe you won't, or maybe it'll be next year before we see you at the summit. Or maybe we'll never see you at the summit and you still make the move without that level of support. And I'm happy for you, right? I just don't, what I don't want is I don't want Black women thinking it's not possible, right? I don't want Black women thinking it can't happen for me because it can. And so I get out here every week talking, because I want you to know it's possible. Past that, I ain't got it. Sparkles, thank you so much. This will go towards a woman's ticket. And then you also you donated again. You out here being real generous, girl. Real appreciate you. Appreciate you. How can we sponsor people's tickets to Exodus Summit? There is, like I mentioned before, we're going to have a video tutorial on how to do it on the website. This money will also go towards people's tickets. Exodus Summit, we give away donated tickets to Exodus Summit because from the very first year, women said, how can I sponsor a woman to Exodus Summit? And Stephanie and I were like, we hadn't considered that our community would want to buy tickets for other members of the community. How shall we do that? And we figured it out. we figured it out. And so every year, this year is a little bit fancier because you can donate money while you buy a ticket. Our system got a little fancier. But the reason we have donated tickets is because the women in our community were like, I want to give to other women in the community. And so this is our 6th year of doing that. And we appreciate it. We appreciate all that you guys do. We appreciate the way you guys show up and care for each other. It's just, yeah, Sparkles, you get to be possibility model. We really appreciate the way you guys look out for each other. So, all right. Let's see. Let's see what else is in the comments. Oh, C Snow says, I'm from Chicago Sisters for the first time. I can express I wonderfully experience wealth and a blessing to meet them. Thank you, Rashid and Stephanie, for what you do, new and ready. Yay, C Snow. Which brings us to Exodus Summit International Meetup Day. And that is October 4th. All of the details are in the new community. We're not posting anything over in Facebook anymore. So if you're in Facebook and you haven't joined us in the new community, get your butt over to the new community. Let me see if I did that. Okay, here we go. New Exodus community. The new community has a minimum of $1 fee to join because we have to pay for this community. We didn't have to pay for Facebook. So, we don't do things for free. So there are meetups happening all over the world. I will see Chelsea at the one in Mexico City on October 4th. They're all happening on October 4th. There are other meetups happening outside of that. Like we had a meetup yesterday in Querétaro, even though I planned it and then I couldn't show up. My bad, y'all. So if you want to be in community with Black women who have either already moved abroad or in the process of moving abroad, wherever you're going to be in the world on October 4th, either set up a meetup in the community, tag Frances Hunt, let her know you want her info, you want to set up an event, or message her directly, or go to an already existing meetup, wherever you are. And I think that it's going to be a beautiful day. Beautiful day. I saw some people asking about merch. Steph, can you drop the merch link if you're still here? I know I can find it. If I go to Slack and I look somewhere, I can find the merch. Where would that be? Ah, here we go. ExodusSummit.com/merch. So complicated. So complicated. Stephanie always does that stuff. She's like, ExodusSummit.com/ I don't know what those things are. So yes, so show up, go to a meeting. Thank you for the compliment, travel gal. Yes, join the community. Oh, JM, yes, go to the Bangkok one if there's one. How can you donate towards the ticket? If you go to exodussummit.com, you'll see the information on the website. If you can't see it, you can email us at hello@exodussummit.com. Sparkles, no, you've already donated enough, more than enough. But thank you. Thank you for your extreme generosity. Extreme. All right, I think we did it today. If you're in the membership, we are not going to meet now because I have some things I need to do before I leave Querétaro today. It's summit season. And I think that's it. I will see you guys here next week, and then I won't see you for a little while because I will either be at the summit or I'll be recovering from the summit. Is there anything that I missed real quick? I feel like I'm missing something. Stephanie, am I missing anything? All right, I think that's it. Thank you guys. Like I said, members, we're not meeting today, but we'll figure some stuff out soon. Oh yes, Lady Stewart says, please embrace the subscribe and like button. Also turn on notifications if you haven't already. I'm super excited about the summit this year. I'm super excited about having more spaces like Exodus ASAP, our membership, little sidebar here, where you can talk more about your questions and so that you don't ever say, no, I moved to Tanzania and no one ever told me, I don't know, the people are Black. I don't know. I don't know. Right? Like, what they don't tell you about life abroad is you got to do your own research. Love you guys. Mean it. I will talk to you on the other side. Thank you for being here. And have a great day. Bye, everybody.